According to Hamp, most women have better hand and eye coordination, resulting in a better shot.
They're giving out facade initiatives for restaurants like Amici. And owners say it's more than a good look for their business. Jennifer has been behind these gates for 48 hours and getting all the tools they need to gear up with the Magic program. I think I got it. Rain, and then more rain.
And rain.
Right?
And then the heat comes after the rain goes away, so it's not looking good for us right now.
All right, thank you, Clinton. I'm in downtown Macon at Cherry Street Park, where the Macon Police Department is preparing for their second annual Family Fun Fest. Ginger Michelle used to be located here on 1st Street in Macon. Now they've moved over to North Macon, where they say business is looking up. They also add that that's the reason why the father had such a huge problem going in to try to save family members. Central State Hospital sits on 200 acres of land with 200 buildings. That's why they've been fighting against the Forest Hill Road construction project. Now he'll spend his time in the Bibb County LEC. This morning, both men were reinstated after more than 50 complaints came into the city manager. An officer has been on duty here since 7 o'clock last night. Congratulations to Chief Deputy Carswell on his new position. Have a good night.
Good night. This thing came in handy just now.
Yeah, it did come in handy.
And press the trigger. It's going to make a big bang.
Women and firearms. It may have been considered cliche at one time, but more recently, Eagle Gun Range owner Hamp Dowling says he's seen an increase in women purchasing handguns.
The increase in sales now we feel is a fear that has struck people. They're realizing that they can't protect themselves.
But he warns any prospective buyer to be a responsible gun owner.
And it's wise that if you do buy one, that you get somebody to teach you how to work it. Put these on first. Put this dot right in the U with your finger off the trigger. Don't put your finger on the trigger till you're ready to fire.
The more educated gun owners we have, the better off we're going to be.
Jessica is just one of many women taking the basic firearms training offered at the range.
We see more ladies in our classes and an awful lot of them first time, never shot before people.
Well, this was my first time shooting and I enjoyed it. I want to be able to protect myself.
Hamp adds that first-time shooters, and especially the ladies, shouldn't be afraid.
All of our lady shooters will outshoot their husbands and boyfriends. We see it all the time.
According to Hamp, most women have better hand and eye coordination, resulting in a better shot.
It's notorious. The ladies will outshoot you in a minute.
Most of the women I spoke with at the range say that the crimes being committed in Central Georgia give them reason to take up arms.
There's just too much going on in the world.
Your criminals are going to be a lot stronger than you are and a lot more dangerous than you are.
But if you don't know how to use it, I mean, they could get you first.
Firearm professionals say learning to operate a gun safely is the first step to responsible self-defense.
But a lot of people will purchase a gun and never get training, and they don't even know it. They forget how to run it.
And first-time shooter Kelly Andrews agreed.
If not on one, at least know how to use one.
And headlines across the nation in recent months have somewhat inspired a movement to do just that.
Our gun sales have increased tremendously in the last month or so, and we feel that it is this crime wave and just our government maybe threatening people to take them away.
They're trying to push new gun laws and more control, and they're taking the control out of the hands of the people that actually are responsible.
Amber Jones,
Perfect shot.
WGXA. This is Javier Marino, listening to a 911 call he made in September of last year. He tells dispatchers at Houston 911 that somebody shot his boss, Jose Marin, the owner of Marin Mexican Food Store, as they were unloading goods from a truck around 10 o'clock that night. That somebody he refers to is allegedly Jermonte Moss, who was 17 years old at the time of the murder. Today, opening statements were heard and key witnesses from the prosecution were up on the stand. The focus of the trial for most of the day was the .45 caliber handgun found on the defendant, the clothes that he had on, and how close in proximity the store, his home, and where he was found were. Many of the witnesses were asked to relive that night. The arresting officer, Todd Roundtree, explains along with some video what happened to him on that night.
We're going to tighten him up.
But the story took an interesting twist when another man with a similar story took the stand. Nefertali Corrado was robbed just the night before on September 21, 2011. Though Moss is not on trial for shooting Corrado, He was confidently identified by the victim as being his shooter, and the prosecution says that the crime shows similar motive. Both men say they were approached with a gun and then demanded to pay the young black male money. Jurors heard from both lawyers, Houston County DA George Hartwig for the state, and Ronnie Davis representing Moss, along with several key witnesses before Judge Nunn. Amber Jones, WGXA. Driving down Macon's Cherry Street, redevelopment is evident. The Macon-Bibb Urban Development Authority is trying to make sure that trend continues, but responsibly.
If you're analyzing the market correctly, you're in a good financial position, you're sticking with a business plan, acknowledging the fact that owning a small business can be tough at times.
Ladies' boutiques have had a hard time keeping their doors open, with 2 closing and 1 moving away. But why?
We needed a little pickup in business and things like that. And downtown had kind of slowed down a little bit, unfortunately.
Ginger Michelle used to be located here on 1st Street in Macon. Now they've moved over to North Macon, where they say business is looking up.
They have been great since we've gotten here. We get more foot traffic with Publix being right here. Moms will come in saying, oh, I had to go to the grocery store, so I decided I'd stop in and shop for a little bit.
But Dot's Forget-Me-Nots has been in business for 10 years on Cherry Street, and owner Dot Ridley says she's not going anywhere.
What I hear from my customers, they enjoy coming downtown. They don't have to worry about parking, and they can park in front of the door.
Adding that redevelopment near her is encouraging, and that all Maconites should join her in the downtown movement.
I think it's growing, and we have a lot of good things going on downtown that people don't really know because they don't come down here.
The Urban Development Authority, along with other government entities, hope that people will be inspired by the growth.
I would like to think that more people would be willing to take that bet, because I really do believe downtown is about to pop.
Amber Jones, WGXA.